Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, February 15th, 2016. Hello, how are you? How is your world going on this Monday? How was your Valentine's Day, huh? Did you get her something special? If you're a smart son of a bitch, you're either not in a relationship or you're not taking her out until tonight or tomorrow or whatever, whenever the prices go back down again. You know, and by the way, if enough people start doing this and the old fucking restaurants get wise to it and they start making their prices higher, Valentine's Day prices a few days before, a few days after, then fucking wait a week, wait a month, do it a month earlier. It's the biggest fucking ripoff probably of the year, other than probably what's going on to Bernie Sanders, but I don't really understand. I guess she has some super delegates, you know. Old fucking Hillary Clinton's got the super. She already has the super delegate. She already has 100. She only needs 120. Whatever the fuck that is. Jesus Christ! It's like playing bridge, trying to keep up what's going on. I have no idea. All I know is I like that Bernie looks like an old dog trying to eat a meal when he's talking. With the fucking jowls going and the weird things that his fingers do. I like it. I could look at that for 4 years. I got to admit, and as much as I don't like all the racist shit Trump is doing, I do love some fucking jerk-off yelling at other politicians. So that part has been enjoyable. You're a liar. There weren't any weapons of mass destruction, and they knew it. I mean, he sounds like he's quoting some podcasts. I have no idea. At some point, I'm going to start paying attention. There's got to be some even-keeled so-and-so out there. I have no fucking clue. I have no clue. And last week I said that I hated when people in the public eye talk about politics. You know, that's not true. I hate when they fucking tell me why I should vote for somebody. Oh, shit. Were you the guy from Interview with the Vampire? Oh, yeah. Who should I elect for leader of the free world? It was like when Tom Cruise was talking about psychology. It's like, oh, yeah, you pretended to be a Shogun warrior and a NASCAR champion. Let me, by all means, let me listen to you talk about modern medicine. As long as you preface it with, like, I'm a fucking moron, I don't know what I'm talking about, but here you go, you know? But when you really start believing it, that's when you get in trouble. And maybe I believe it. Maybe this is the way I'm just sort of soft pedaling it to you. I'm playing the moron as I'm fucking feeding you putting a little ringworm in your fucking ear, whatever people say there with the fucking earworm, right? Some song you can't stand gets in your fucking head. You know what's kind of a weird one is when a song you like gets in your head, and then you don't mind, and then you drive everybody nuts around you. Like Steve Gorman from Steve Gorman Sports sent me this link to this country star that's been struggling for a long time, and he finally got a big break. I believe he's a distant cousin of Roy Clark. I'm not sure, but his name is Wheeler Walker Jr., and he sent me a clip that I'll send you guys. It's a great fucking song for Valentine's Day if you're not in a relationship, for a man or a woman. And the hook has just been stuck in my head. And I really want to sing it to you, but it's going to ruin it for you. So go look up Wheeler Walker Jr. Well, I guess the song kind of ruins it. It's called Fuck You, Bitch. And it's really catchy. And it's, I don't know, it's kind of poetic. I really think the chorus really sums up what you feel when somebody breaks your heart. So, you know, country music, those country music stars, they can do that to you every once in a while. And it's nice to see someone go to the left. You know, those fucking country singers, those poor bastards, for all these fucking years, you know, they've been abusing drugs and, you know, going to Klan meetings and beating the shit out of their women. But when they get on TV, they got to do that family values thing. You know, they got to get, I just want to thank Jesus, and I just feel blessed that y'all just taking me into your hearts, you know. Hey, you want some potato salad? That stupid, phony fucking Southern thing where if you're from up north, the first time you see it, your heart melts when you hear that twang and you just think that they're the nicest fucking person. Nobody can stick the fucking knife in your back like a fucking Southerner with that fucking, hey, y'all, I'm just fucking, they downplay it, they play dumb, but blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, you're laying in a fucking pig trough about ready to get fucking eaten alive. That's how it goes down. All right? And that guy from fucking 50 snatches and 40 smoking barrels, that's where he got it from. Okay? Not from that cunt, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyways, I watched a brand new TV show last night, and I was really fucking disappointed. I fucking turned it on. I needed a new show, and I thought it was going to be the one, I was like, this is going to be it. It's Valentine's Day night, okay? Me and the lovely Nia, we're not going out. I had a fucking one of those tomahawk steaks frozen in the freezer. The fucking freezer, right? Defrosted that bitch all day. I watched like 30 YouTube videos. This is how I do it. If you're going to do a tomahawk steak, there's only one way to do it. As far as I'm concerned, I watched like 50 of those fucking things, and I just sort of I took a survey with temperature and time, flippage, and all of that stuff, and I went down the middle, and I got a little impatient with the big green egg. My temperature was a little higher than I wanted, so it came out of a medium rather than a medium rare, but it was still fucking delish. And there was a new series that I tried to get into last night, and I put it on, and it looked good. The acting was great, but the dialogue just wasn't there, and I tried to fucking fight it out for the first 20 minutes, and then I just looked over at Nia. Nia did one of those, big inhale in the fucking eyes, like, this is, yeah. And then I was just like, well, let's shut it off. She's like, no, we got to at least watch the pilot episode, which is how she ended up marrying me. Because I believe 20 minutes into our relationship, she was like, yeah, but she fucking stuck it through, right? She kept panning for gold, and she found a little nugget, and she stuck with me. I didn't. I was just like, fuck this, I'm out. And by 40 minutes into it, I was imitating people in it, and the whole thing just went down the shitter. So, once again, but you know what? What I'm finally going to do? I think I'm finally going to start watching Game of Thrones. Now that they're fucking 5, 10, 15 fucking seasons into it. I've been trying to watch it for the longest time, but Nia's just not into it. She doesn't want to see a bunch of white people running around chasing dragons. It's just not what she's into. And I'm not really into dragons either, but if you're going to cut somebody's fucking head off, you got to do a lot to lose me after that point, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Who the fuck knows? Maybe I remember watching the first one, and there was some sort of spooky thing going on, and there was some little kid that was supposed to watch a beheading, and he looked away, and then his I forget what his dad did, put him on the rack or something. I don't remember. But then I don't know what happened. And it just kept going, and it was like a train that was coming, right? And you could have ran and caught it, but you don't. You just stand there and you watch it disappear. And in that moment, when that train disappears and you realize you're late for work, in that fucking moment, you question everything that you're doing in your life. Why didn't I run for that train? Because I have this job that I don't like. What am I doing in this relationship? What happened to me? What happened in the last 6 years of my fucking life? Right? And it's a critical moment there where you have to beat all those thoughts down, bury them, and go back to being the zombie that you are. Which brings me to The Walking Dead. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, I want to thank everyone who came out in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I kept doing a southern accent the entire time I was out there, and I was addressing it, but I don't know what Wyoming people sound like. Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Denver, Colorado. I went out with Dean Del Rey, and we had a great fucking time. We played the Cheyenne Civic Center. How cool does that sound? Had all this amazing woodwork inside of it that really looked like one of those log cabins that either an oil man or a fucking Hollywood starlet goes and buys. Like when people get a huge amount of success pretending to be other people, at some point they have to get out of LA, and they always end up in Wyoming or Montana. It's fucking hilarious. And they buy what looks like a log cabin, sort of, It looks like a log cabin and like a fucking resort all at the same time, you know, and then they go out there and they buy their designer I'm a fucking cattle rancher wardrobe. And then they do the fucking interview, right, with their big stupid cowboy hat on. An older, wiser so-and-so steps back to evaluate the last 6 years of a whirlwind, whatever the fuck it is, right? You know what I mean? And then they pretend that they can live this little fucking life out there before they go nuts after 3 days and they call up a G5 to pick them up and take them right back, you know, and they end up back down to the chateau. All right, the Chateau Marmont. Doing blow in a bungalow. That's what you do. You're finding a little bit of balance. Speaking of fucking, before I go back on that shit, speaking of fucking sick ass houses, I went on this Paul Newman kick. You know, he's my favorite of all time. You know, a lot of people go Steve McQueen. I like Steve McQueen, but Paul Newman's my guy. He's my fella. I don't know. Once I look into those blue eyes, I melt. Just say anything. I believe it. Are you a pool shark? Are you a lawyer? Do you play hockey? I watched, I guess the first thing I watched The Man with the Golden Arm, which Del Rey was telling me to watch, which was a movie about Frank Sinatra playing a heroin addict who, comes out of jail and he gets clean and he plays the drums and he wants to get a gig playing drums. And I watched a great fucking movie. There's some brutal overacting. I don't know. I would definitely recommend seeing that. So once I finished that, you know, it's like the next thing that was coming up was Somebody Up There Likes Me, which I'd always heard of when I was growing up. And then once I saw it was Paul Newman, I was like, all right, I'm going to watch it. And it was him playing Rocky Graziano, the Rocky Graziano story. And I literally forget what I was talking. Oh, that's right. So it just got me on this Paul Newman thing. And you know what's funny is this thing. Actually, Steve McQueen is in that movie for fucking 2 seconds. And it's right as Graziano's getting out of some fucking juvenile detention home that he fucking escapes. So he's going around the neighborhood tapping all these guys, all his tough guy friends on the shoulders to be like, hey, I'm back in the neighborhood. And all of them turn around like, who the fuck is this guy, right? Because they're tough street kids. So fucking Steve McQueen is shooting pool. Rocky taps him on the shoulder and he fucking turns around with a knife out, just whoosh, within 2 seconds. And then he realizes it's Rocky, and he's like, hey, Rocky! And he does this stupid fucking thing with his hand that I don't know who fucking... There's certain things in movies that the first guy who plays that guy does, and then it's this weird fucking thing where every other actor after it starts fucking doing it, and you know nobody ever did it who's actually the guy that they're playing, but then it's done enough in fucking movies that the people who are actually the guy, then they start fucking doing it, and that's when it becomes a circle, and you don't know who the fuck it is. It's this fucking thing like... It's almost like, say you were getting a manicure, right? And you wanted to dry off your nails. And he's like, hey, Rocky. And he's doing this stupid fucking thing with his hand. I don't know. I'm going a really long way here to tell you what I really want to tell you. But like one of my favorite things is to watch actors during that era playing tough street kids. Like it's fucking cringeworthy. That fucking movie that Marlon Brando did. He's on the motorcycle. What the fuck was that one called? It's not The Wild Bunch. That was a cowboy movie. Rebel Without a Cause. No, that's James Dean. I can't remember. But just you have to sit there and watch that shit. How fucking brutal it is. That West Side Story, which I don't think I've ever seen. I'm just going to throw that in there because I need 3 of them. I don't know. Whatever. So I started watching that. So then I finished that one. And then the next one that came on, I can't even remember the name of it. Fuck. Hang on a second. Now I got an IMDb fucking Paul Newman. He just has the bluest eyes. Paul Newman, IMD fucking B. Filmography. So anyways, I think it was called, not Hudson. The long story was this next movie comes on, right? And in the beginning, he's driving in this car, and he's clearly in Los Angeles, which was one of my favorite fucking things ever, to just see old footage, black and white or color, of L.A., and you just get to see, like, you can usually tell by the Hollywood Hills and sometimes the highways and shit, kind of where they are. And you'll see, like, train tracks and shit that they ripped up, those fucking cunts. Or you'll see, you'll just see how less populated it is. All right, here it is. Harper. Harper's the movie. The very beginning of the movie, he goes into a house, and Lauren Bacall's in there. Lauren Bacall, who married Humphrey Bogart, Bogey and Bacall, one of the great couples in Hollywood history. And, Humphrey Bogart, somebody that Frank Sinatra stole a lot of his swagger from. They were also the first Rat Pack, Humphrey Bogart and all his fucking crew. And not only did Sinatra steal a lot of Humphrey Bogart's swagger, he actually ended up fucking Lauren Bacall later on after Humphrey Bogart died, which is really fucked up. But anyways, I digress. So in Harper, he pulls into this fucking house that I could not believe. And I actually looked it up, and it still exists. Look it up right now if you're at work. Pretend that you're doing some sort of busy work. It's on 1011 North Beverly Drive, 1011 Beverly Drive. And this fucking house, I think it's just called the Beverly House. It's in Beverly Hills. Probably has one of the sickest fucking pools I've ever seen in my life. It's like a 3-tiered thing. The first 2 tiers, I believe, are just considered a waterfall. And first of all, it has like a half-mile driveway that he comes up around. And what's hilarious, which looks like the first year they had the Porsche, which at this point, by 1965, when they shot it, was just considered a piece of shit. Who would know that years later, some baby boomer would pay like fucking $900,000 for it? So he's driving up one of the fenders is like that fucking, what's that paint that they primered and all that shit. So he pulls up in this fucking house. You got to see the backyard of it. So actually, I looked the fucking thing up. I found out where it was. And the next time I fly a helicopter, I'm going to fucking fly over the house and check it out. It's actually just a little bit north of the Beverly Hills Hotel. But you got to check this fucking thing out. One of the great things about living in Los Angeles, a lot of people, always shit on living in L.A. But one of the I think L.A. arguably has some of the most amazing homes in the country, just for the simple fact that for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the weather out here or what, they haven't been torn down. So many of them, other places that I've been to, but they have like craftsman houses out here, and then they have all the Spanish, the Mediterranean style ones. They have, it's just incredible houses. So you got to check this one out. This house is actually kind of ugly. When you pull up, they shot The Godfather Part 2 there, but Part 1 there. This is actually the house where the horse's head scene. Spoiler alert, if you're one of the 2 people who've never seen that fucking movie, they shot that scene in there. And JFK and his wife Jackie had their honeymoon in this fucking house. And I just saw it recently. The last time it sold for $135 million. And all I'm doing looking at it, after buying my old ass house that was made in 1923, all I see is fucking 50,000 square foot of galvanized pipe and cloth wiring that they're going to have to somehow fucking redo. Well, sections of it. There's a little bit of copper pipe here, a little bit of wiring that was done correctly. But anyways, that's another cool thing about these fucking houses out there is that they've been around so long. And if they're in a desirable area in Hollywood, like the stories of like the people that live there, like how cool, I mean, that's a $135 million house. Obviously it'd be a fucking amazing house, but how fucking, how amazing it would be to have that house and be like, you didn't see a movie and you're watching Paul Newman walking across your fucking terrace that you now own. I don't know. I think that shit's cool as hell. But, while you're at it, you can check out a lot of those and also just look up famous Hollywood homes. I told you, there's a house about not even like
I don't know, maybe a 15-minute drive away from me. And in Los Angeles, 15 minutes is a big fucking deal. Sometimes just, 15 blocks. It can go one way or another. It can literally go like to I'm going to get stabbed to how the fuck can you ever afford to live in? How many people did you steal from to get this fucking? This guy's got a moat around his house. That's the way LA is. It's like really like patchwork. So like a 15-minute drive away from where I live, my neighbor told me there's a house that went up for sale. I think I told this story before. And it's an old ass house. It's pre-prohibition. And basically, when Prohibition came around, this house had a pool, and then it had a cabana. And in the cabana, this guy, he built a bar during Prohibition, and he had illegal booze, or I don't know if he was making beer in the bathtub, whatever the fuck he was doing, but he used to have all these famous people come over there, and they would just booze it up. And anybody who came over there and drank that was famous, he would have them carve their names into the bar. And evidently, according to my neighbor who went and looked at the house, even though he couldn't afford it, he just wanted to see the bar. He went and looked at it, and it's one of those things, if you buy the house, it's that bar is obviously protected by the Historical Society or some shit. But you go in there, and everyone from like Louis Armstrong to like fucking Humphrey Bogart have carved their names into that fucking bar. So whatever, that's some sort of nerdy Los Angeles house shit. But yeah, definitely, rather than work today, just go on Google Earth and just look at some of those fucking houses, or just Google, like, famous Hollywood homes. Dude, there's homes where, like, when I was watching that, Somebody Up There Likes Me. Oh, I should really know the name of the fucking actress. The one who plays Paul Newman's love interest, obviously, is an absolute fucking knockout, and I'd never heard of her. So the fact that I never heard of her, I'm like, fuck. I've looked up enough of those old movies. Like, I got this creepy thing that I always look people up, like an older person. I'm like, all right, that person's definitely dead. Let's see how long that they lived for, right? Or you try to find a cast where, like, everybody's dead, which is a very difficult thing to do. So anyway, I started looking up, the people that were, this woman. I hope I say her name right. It's Pier. Is it Pierre? Pierre? I don't know. And Jelly? I have no idea. I looked her up, and I was immediately going like, she probably died of pills. Because back then, like, I don't know, like giving people pills. Like, it seems back then, every guy either died of a heart attack in his 50s and 60s, or he died of cancer. And like 90% of the women died of an accidental, like, barbiturate overdose. Because back then, like, if a woman came in and she had some emotional issues, the doctors were like, for God's sakes, get a hold of yourself. And they would just give her some pills to relax her. It was like in that movie Airplane, where they were just slapping you and giving you a backhand and shit. So she was just gorgeous, amazing actress. And then, of course, I looked it up, and she died accidentally. Some people say suicide. Some people say accidentally, at 39 years of age. And then I look it up, and sure enough, the place where she fucking overdosed is still there. That's another one of those things. It's a really fucking, it's either cool or creepy. All these fucking houses that people died in. There's another actor in there. This guy's Sal Mineo or whatever. I swear to God, who's a dead ringer for Ralph Macchio. He's in it, and he got fucking stabbed to death in like the mid-70s. It's fucking unreal, man. Like, a lot of people, a lot of stars back in the day, they didn't make it. They didn't fucking ride it out, it seemed. Like, just crazy shit happened to them. And I guess what I'm saying is that a lot of these houses still exist, and if you're sort of I guess I'm becoming morbid in my older age as I realize, you know what I mean? Your mortality, you start looking, how long did this person live? How did they live? How did they die? Fuck, is that going to happen to me? That type of shit. I don't know. All right, let's read let's read a little fucking advertising here for the week. Oh, Jesus! Would you look at there? MVMT watches, movement watches. This company, ladies and gentlemen, was started by two college dropouts with the idea to make quality watches that don't break the goddamn bank. They start at just $95. They're sold online, so they cut out all the bullshit retail markup. Movement Watches sent some over here, and I got to tell you, man, you throw one on your wrist, nobody has any idea that it's not a really expensive watch unless they sell watches or they come over and they touch it and they realize it's a lot lighter. Quality materials and sleek designs, the perfect everyday watch. It's easy. Order online today for free shipping, free returns, and a 24-month warranty. Join the movement and say no to big brand retail markups and say yes to great styles. Check out mvmtwatches.com/Burr and you'll get 15% off your entire purchase. That's mvmtwatches.com/Burr. All right, the next one. Dollar Shave Club, everybody. You know, lots of players will be sporting playoff beards now that the postseason's here. They got to update this. Leave that to the pros. Kick off your year right. Kick off your year the right way. With a fresh blade shave. That's why me and millions of others have joined the Dollar Shave Club. Have joined DollarShaveClub.com. You know what I realized about me reading out loud? My fucking mouth is like a sentence and a half where my fucking eyes are. Slow it down, Bill. Dollar Shave Club knows the key to getting an amazing shave is simple. 1, use a fresh Dollar Shave Club blade. 2, use their Dr. Kavi's Easy Shave Butter. That's it. Dollar Shave Club delivers amazing razors right to my door for a third of the price of those greedy mega razor corporations. That means listeners who switch now can afford the luxury of shaving with a fresh blade anytime and save hundreds this year. And when you combine the fresh blade with their Dr. Kavi's Easy Shave Butter, it just glides. It's unimaginably smooth. I'm telling you, it's not your average shave foam. It won't dry out your skin. The all-natural ingredients leave your skin feeling soft, smooth, and moisturized after every shave. Take it from me. Or take it from somebody else. Or whatever. Don't take it. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Use a fresh Dollar Shave Club blade with Dr. Kavi's Easy Shave Butter. If you wanted the most gentle shave imaginable, DollarShaveClub.com/Burr today. That's DollarShaveClub.com/Burr. Oh, by the way, I'm doing my first solo flight through Bravo airspace. So if you're still on the map, if you're still on the Google Earth map, I love looking at this shit, right? And you go on to, what do you do? Well, you click it on the fucking globe there. All right? Now, go over to the ocean. Okay? Follow Santa Monica Boulevard over to the ocean. All right? Right where it says the 10. Now go down a little bit, and you'll see something that kind of looks like a tree, but it's made out of water. That's Marina Del Rey. All right? Now, if you're flying south, that's where Bravo airspace begins along the coastline. And when you're there, you have to be at 150 feet or below, at or below 150. And then you transition the Bravo airspace. If you go a little bit further south, you'll see LAX. All right? And that's, to the south of it is 25 right and 25 left. And to the north is 25 right, 25 left. Those two runways. And those are where the big boys are taking off. So you fly underneath those guys. Or ladies. And you stay at or below 150 feet until you get to, and then you got to zoom in, the Manhattan Beach Pier, and which is almost a beam, as they say, the Comedy and Magic Club down on Hermosa Beach. So you want to be right down there, 150 fucking goddamn feet. No, wait a minute, wouldn't that be Hermosa? Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Hermosa Beach Pier is where the comedy club's at. But the Manhattan Beach Pier, that's where you want to be. You got to, from there to Marina Del Rey, you got to be at or below 150 feet. So if you come out here and you're on the beach as a tourist, you see these helicopters flying by really low. They're not buzzing the beach looking at you or whatever. They are transitioning the Bravo airspace. So I'm going to be doing that. I don't know on what day, but that's my big goal this week with the helicopter thing there. But anyways, let's get back to the podcast here. Where is it? What else did I want to talk about? Oh, how about those Boston Bruins? Now I know we lost. To the Red Wings. I didn't get to see the game yet. I have it taped. I'm a game behind. I watched I'm actually a game and 2/3 behind. I watched the first quarter of us beating the Wild, and Brad Marchand scored again, his 12th goal in 12 games, and I actually looked up the ticker, and I saw that he scored his 13th fucking goal. And in 13 games, the guy's on fire. And I saw his goal in the Minnesota Wild game, a shorthanded goal, just a beautiful pass. And I don't know, it's fucking awesome, man. He's gonna have he's on his way. He's gonna have like 40 goals this fucking year. And I gotta say, just the Bruins and the Celtics this year, both of them, I was just gonna be like, this is, after all the moves they made, I just kind of felt that neither one was going to be that competitive, and it was going to be tough to watch them this year. And I think they're both overachieving. It's been fun to watch them. Although for some reason my fucking recorder stopped taping the Celtics games. I was really getting into it, watching Isaiah Thomas and Crowder, Jay Crowder, and who's the jam band guy? I finally learned his fucking name there, Kelly Olynyk, right? I was enjoying watching it. And our young coach there, who I still don't know his fucking name because I always tape the games and they talk to him and I just fast forward through all of that shit. And then they just show him. I think his name's Steven, something with an S. Sean. I don't know. But he looks like a baby, man. The guy's like fucking 15 years younger than me, and he's coaching the Celtics. He's doing a great job. And evidently we got a couple of number 1 draft picks. We're in a great fucking position. I missed the All-Star Weekend stuff. I saw some of the dunking stuff. And Kevin Hart. Did anybody see Kevin Hart? He went up against some other NBA guy. I can tell I don't watch fucking NBA. He went up against a professional basketball player in a 3-point contest. Should I give you a spoiler alert, or should I do the clickbait? And the results will surprise you. Who gives a fuck? He actually beat the guy. And what I loved about it, besides being a big fan of his stuff and everything, was when he went to start shooting his 3-pointers, they were playing disrespectful music underneath him. They were playing this, isn't this like, it's adorable. Or isn't it silly that this little man is going to come out here and try and beat one of our professional athletes? And they were right through the first 2 racks. And then he fucking closed strong. And I think he might have beat him on the last ball. You got to see it, man. I mean, it's pretty fucking impressive. If I remember correctly, a long time ago, he was telling me that before he was a comedian, he went to a basketball camp that had a young, unknown Kobe Bryant and that type of shit. So, but still, man, it was a long fucking time ago. Since then, he's gone all the way to selling out the Eagles football stadium, doing stand-up comedy. You'd think that his basketball game would drop off a little bit, that maybe he'd be a little rusty at the Y. Forget about being able to beat a fucking NBA player in a 3-point contest. It was pretty goddamn impressive. So anyways, let me get back. Jesus Christ. Wyoming. Cheyenne, Wyoming. So I go there, and this was the last of the 50 that I had to do. So, of course, I'm reading all up on Wyoming and all that type of stuff, and I see that Yellowstone Park is right in the northwest corner of it, and I'm like, well, fuck, I got to go up there and go do a gig in the middle of nowhere at some point, and maybe I'll do a nice run through Montana, Idaho, and all that shit, the Dakotas. I get into all that fucking nerdy shit, right? So we do the gig. We have a great time. I take some pictures with some people afterwards. And when I was on stage, I was saying, hey, where should we go tonight if I want to go out and have a pot, right? So, of course, everybody's yelling out everything at the same time, and I can't hear anything. So I'm like, one at a time. And then just in the back, this guy yells out, "The green door!" Said to go to the green door, and then the whole crowd just goes, don't go there. And I was like, I didn't even need you guys to say that. The green door just sounds like some creepy serial killer place. So I go, I'm not fucking going there. So then somebody said, I forget the fuck it was called, the Cadillac Lounge or something. I took a picture of it. So I decide, all right, that's where the fuck we'll go. We'll go over to this thing. I'm actually looking up the picture right now on my phone here. Come on. Where is it? There it is. The Cadillac Ranch, sorry. So we go in there, there's a big American flag lit up on the side. I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's fucking go in there and see what this place is about. And we went in there, and I got to tell you, man, it was the most diverse group of fucking people I've ever seen in my life. And I think for the simple fact there was no other place to go. So there was like a group of bikers. There was soldiers. There was like ranchers. There was a group of lesbians. And then there was just filler people that you couldn't really tell what the fuck they were. They was older, younger, the whole fucking thing. So we're in there like, wow, man, look, this is nuts. And then it had a real like cowboy kind of feel to it, yet there was like a fucking DJ playing like modern music. It was fucked. So we're in there, and Dean, for whatever fucking reason, is just pointing at shit, and people going, look at that fucking guy. Look at this shit. Look at this fucking bar. And I'm sitting there going, Dean, stop pointing at shit. Stop pointing at shit. And Dean's been sober for like 20 fucking years, so he's got no excuse. He just kept pointing at shit. And then finally, I was talking to a couple of the people in there. I was talking to this guy that was in the middle of taking a 2-year welding class, which of course was really interesting to me. I was talking to him about that shit. I was talking to some other people, and then at one point somebody said, hey, you want a whiskey? So like my thing now when I go on the road and I drink, I have a beer and a whiskey or a scotch, and then that's it. I call it a fucking night. And it's been working out great for me, you know what I mean? So I have a nice little taste, but then I don't get hammered, and then I'm fine the next morning, and I can work out and shit, right? So this guy offers, he comes over, hey, I got to buy a drink. I said, well, I'm just getting a beer. And I said, well, all right, well, I was going to get a whiskey too. He goes, well, what do you want? He goes, we got a local fucking Wyoming whiskey. I was like, all right, when in Cheyenne, let's fucking do it, right? So he gets me this fucking shot, and he brings it over, and it was almost like see-through. Now, I don't know if they did whiskey and water or what, but I fucking took a sip of it, and it had no bite or anything. I was just looking at him like, dude, what the fuck is this? And he goes, well, it hasn't been aged at all. I got to tell you, dude, it was the worst whiskey I've ever had. And my apology to the person who bought me the shot, I couldn't finish it. I said, Dean, look at this fucking thing. And Dean was just like, yeah, dude, that looks like piss. So, and then at that point, I wasn't looking, but Dean was saying that the biker people were mean mugging everybody. And he goes, dude, let's get the fuck out of here. So we get out of there. And, as we were driving over there, I noticed that there was a liquor store with a drive-through. So I was like, oh God, I got to get a picture of that. So I pull over, I get a picture of it. And then I'm just like, dude, I got to do it. I got to go to a drive-through liquor store. So I fucking pull up. I posted video of this, and I just wanted to get one beer. And the guy goes, well, I can give you like the 24 ounce. So I got like a Budweiser. I'll repost the video on the Monday Morning Podcast Twitter page. So I went up, I ordered a fucking beer. And what was really cool is it had the old remember the old air hoses when you would pull up at the gas station, and it would ring the bell like ding, ding as your car pulled in. It was so fucking cool. And, we were sitting there, and then this dude just sort of walked into the place or whatever. And as we drive out, there's an Arby's across the street, which I never fucking eat. Fucking fast food roast beef. I mean, I like to think I'm a courageous person, but that's just that gets a little too shady for me, right? I'd rather eat the pink slime. So anyways, Del Rey's going like, hey man, he goes, let's hit the Arby's. I'm hungry. So I go, all right. So we go into the Arby's, right? He orders some shit, and then I ordered like some chicken sliders, which I shouldn't have fucking got. They were fucking disgusting. It was like eating the heel of some chick's fucking boot, just the way they were shaped, like clogs. They were just fucking gross. So we go around to the drive-thru, and this is right across from the drive-thru liquor store. And I look across the street, and I read the sign, and what does it say? It says the Green Door. So the drive-through liquor store is part of this shady fucking titty bar called the Green Door that urban legend said that there was a one-legged stripper in. Now, the younger me would have been like, I got to go in and go see that shit. The older me goes like, oh my God, that's somebody's daughter. So technically, I kind of did go to the Green Door. I didn't go in there. I just fucking pulled up or whatever. So I'll post some pictures of that shit. Let me see if I actually took them. So, and then the next day we got up, right, and we wanted to go to some local place to get breakfast, and we went to this local place, and I don't know if the regular chef was out of town, but I ordered eggs over easy, and I cut into them, dude. They were so undercooked, like it came out clear. Like the white part of the egg was still clear, like, you know when those people drink like egg whites? It was like that. And so Dean's eggs were the same way. And I just never sent food back, so I just stirred them in with the fucking hash. I mean, they should have just served the eggs in a glass like fucking Rocky Balboa, and I just suck it down. And I noticed a woman diagonally from me, she sent her eggs back too. And then in the end, when I went to pay, she was just like, how was it? And when I said it was great, I kind of stumbled. I went, it was great. And then she goes, and then she immediately looked up. She goes, was everything okay? Was everything okay? So... I'm just guessing that the normal chef was out of town, so I'm not going to out this place as being something bad. But it was pretty rough. It was one of the worst breakfasts I've ever had. But when we came back down, we were driving down to Denver. I literally feel like a little kid right now. Like I'm just telling you every moment of this tour. But Dean's a big motorcycle guy. He's been riding for 30 years, so they had this huge fucking Harley-Davidson dealership right on the 25 as we were coming down. So we stopped in, and I didn't know, but Harley has a new bike that's just right out of my childhood. It's called the 72, and it's got the big spoked front wheel. It's got the handlebars. It's like fucking Arthur Fonzarelli's bike, which obviously was fucking from the 50s or whatever, but I haven't ridden in like a year and a half, and I don't know, man. I think I got to ride that bike. I think I'm going to rent it just one day. There's a park up around where I'm at. I'll rent it on like a Sunday and just go up there in the morning time and just fucking ride it around and bring it back. I'm too much of a pussy to ride all the time because, I got too much to fucking lose. And, oh my God, they had one in this black and gold metal flake. It was fucking good. It's just perfect, man. As much as I love the Road King, like every wannabe motorcycle rider who watched a couple episodes of whatever that fucking show was. What was that fucking show there that everybody watched about the bikes? Like every fucking wannabe badass who doesn't have a tattoo and is not a motorcycle guy. Like Del Rey took a picture of me on the fucking 72, and I just started laughing. I was like, how much am I not a motorcycle guy? Like, do you realize of what a fucking nerd you have to look like to sit on a Harley and still look like somebody you could bully? I look like every fucking just white dude having a midlife crisis that who watched it. What is that fucking show? What is the fucking show that was all about the motorcycles that everybody watched? I never got into it. God damn it. It's the perfect reference for this shit. But anyways, I might have to rent one coming up. Might go ride a dirt bike and get my skills back up to the ridiculously low level that they were. I just go to a local park out here and I just drive this loop around and around and around. It's actually good because there's a lot of downshift in that shit, a lot of turns you got to look your way through, all this shit that I learned in the safety course and everything. But like I told you guys, one time when I rode a motorcycle down Sunset all the way out to the beach, just like I wanted to, just thinking, this is going to feel, freedom, man, America, right? I was going to see all this shit, dude. I didn't see shit. I was fucking terrified. There was just too many fucking people, and we went later than I wanted to go. I rode with Dean, and Dean, had done spots, so he didn't get up to like 10, so we didn't get on the road till like 11. And I wanted to go at like 7 in the fucking morning when there was nobody on the road, and really just be able to relax a little bit and not have somebody right behind me. And I just remember getting off the bike, and I was like shaking, and I was just like, I had to have that fucking get out of your ego moment and just be like, Bill, this isn't in you. You don't have this in your blood. You're not a motorcycle fucking guy. You're just not. So don't be that shithead. And I immediately sold the bike or got rid of it, whatever the fuck I did. I don't even remember. But I don't know. I think every once in a while, if, I smoke a couple cigars a month, I got that under control. If every once in a while I rent a motorcycle, now I know everybody's going to fucking be like, oh, that's actually more dangerous because you're going to be fucking rusty. All right. Taking all the fun out of everything. All right. Oh, also, this week, I got back into like drinking juices and shit, and there was this fucking algae shit, which was disgusting when I drank it, but I felt amazing afterwards. And I'm trying to, like Dean said, it's a good addiction to have. Like you get addicted to shit. I realize that. And if you're addicted to like working out and good stuff, that's obviously a much better thing for you. So I might try to get back into that type of stuff. But anyways, this past weekend on Saturday night when I got back, I went to this music cares event, and every year they honor somebody, and whoever they're honoring, everybody comes out and just does this person's music. So say they were honoring AC/DC, a bunch of famous fucking musicians that are into AC/DC would come out and do all their songs and switch them up and do different versions of them. So it was Lionel Richie, right? Oh, what a feeling, right? So I go to this fucking thing, and it was unreal. It was like Lenny Kravitz, Usher, who I couldn't believe how small he was. He fucking crushed it. John Legend, Stevie Wonder. All right, all these monsters, and then Stevie Wonder. And I knew Dave Grohl was going to go on, and I'm like, how the fuck is Dave Grohl going to follow this? Is he going to play drums and sing? Is he going to come out with his blue guitar and sing? And he just went up and just sang a song. That was it. He told this fucking story about, when he broke his leg. Remember he fell off the stage? Well, he broke his leg. He was talking about all the outpouring from the fans and all that. And then one day he just got this giant fucking basket of muffins. The biggest basket, I guess, ever, this fucking giant thing. And there was no note or anything on it. And as he's telling this story, the band's sort of just playing, some music underneath it. And he's telling this story. He's got people laughing, but they're listening and all that shit. And then like 2 days later, I guess he got a call from his manager who said, yeah, Lionel Richie just called up to see if you got the fucking giant basket of muffins. And then he just goes, so I just, I forget how he fucking ended the story. I'm butchering it now. Right as he ends the story and you realize that it was Lionel Richie, they kick into his song, You Are. And Dave Grohl just crushed it. You know that song, You Are the Something, You Are the Rain. And he just was up there singing it, fucking crushed it. Went on after Stevie Wonder and crushed it. So I got to do that. What was funny was I went down there and I'm not a suit guy, but you had to wear like a shirt and tie, dude. And I swear to God, like I don't know, just like me when I was on the motorcycle, when I had on that suit and tie, dude. I don't know what it was. Sometimes I look all right, but the thing about suits is if you gotta buy them, like they go out of style really quick. And this one was like 3-4 years old. I just gotten it dry cleaned to some show the last time I wore it, and I put this fucking thing on, and I was talking to Nia. I was like, and I just kept going, I look like an asshole, right? Like, she's like, no, you look fine. I go, yeah, I don't think so, man. I look like an asshole. So the whole fucking night, anytime I would walk into the bathroom, it was a long fucking night. It was like a 4-hour fucking thing, and anytime I would go in there and I would wash my hands and I would just sit there and I would look at myself in the mirror, I just kept laughing. What a fucking jerk off I look like. I don't know. It wasn't a good scene. I don't like hating myself. It's not a good place for me to be. I just say, I think it's time to retire that suit. All right, let's get into some of the fucking questions here for the week. Here we go. Judge Scalia. Bill, listener from Virginia here. The death of Judge Scalia brought out some jokes on social media, and a lot of people took the angle that they were happy that he died. Now, I'm assuming this is somebody on the Supreme Court because I don't pay attention to this shit, but I did see some stuff about this is the first time the Supreme Court won't be conservative. He goes, what's your position on making jokes about being happy people died? Thanks for that laughs. I think you mean thank you. Thanks for the laughs. My position on making joke about, well, yeah, I think you got to be. I think you got to be like a dictator for people to do shit like that. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say don't do it because there's always a joke. I mean, someday when I die, there's going to be a joke. I mean, I know, and if I'm hovering around as a ghost, I'm going to laugh about it. What the fuck do I care? I'm a ghost at that point, right? I didn't go to hell. All right, I'm floating around. I can deal with this. But yeah, I don't do that. Well, look, if you just make a joke, that's fine. But if you're doing it because you didn't share like their political views, yeah, I'm not into doing that type of shit. Like, you know, some shithead. I'm going to start doing this, like the shithead tweet of the week. Somebody sent me a text today telling me that I needed to distance myself. Bill, just to let you know, you need to distance yourself from so-and-so. And then sent me a link. And this is somebody that I've been friends with for 20 fucking years. And then I see this link, and it has to do with being a vegetarian or eating meat. And the name of the video is so-and-so is an ignorant moron, which right there, I love, like, that's your angle, like, to get someone to listen to your opinion. Right there, I just look at it like this is just somebody trying to make a name for themselves, trashing somebody that has made a name for themselves, you know, with some over-the-top title. First of all, I love is an ignorant moron. Like, that's like redundant. You know, he's a stupid, not smart person. Like, I need to distance myself from someone who's been a great friend for 20 years because of their dietary decisions, you know, because they talk about food and nutrition in a way that's a truth that they believe, and all of this, you know, like, and then what? You're a fucking genius, you know, and it's just, you know, I don't know why people do shit like that. So that kind of ties into, you know, I would never, obviously, you know, I don't know. I would never tweet at somebody like that. You need to distance yourself from this person because I don't agree with their workout regimen. And the same thing with like that. Like, if I wouldn't be happy that somebody died because I didn't like their political views. You know what I mean? I always have that in my head. Yeah, it's somebody's dad, somebody's husband or some shit. You know, it's whatever. If he was a gay judge, that's somebody's boyfriend, right? I don't fucking know. I don't do shit like that. But if somebody does, you know, I'm not the comedy fucking police. All right, summer home. Bill, my wife wants to own a home by a lake in New Hampshire. That's fucking awesome. I'm trying to convince her that it's cheaper to just rent a sick house every summer for a couple of weeks instead of paying $15,000 a year in taxes on top of the mortgage. Help me sort out this business, please. Go fuck yourself. Well, what I would say is, you know, you can rent out your house, your summer house, you know. This is what I would do. Okay, I would buy that house on the lake, and then I would just rent the whole fucking thing out. And then whenever I wanted to go, I would rent some other place. You know what I mean? And this is how I'm weird, because I wouldn't want to go into a place that I owned knowing that everybody fucked in my bed. I would rather go to a place knowing that a bunch of people fucked in somebody else's bed. It makes no sense. What you should do is buy it and then rent it out. I mean, buying property is always great. However, if you're having a rough time, like I'm a big believer in paying down your first house. You should really pay that thing down and get it under control before you go and get a summer house. And I do know that in relationships, when it comes to money, there's usually one person understands it and the other person doesn't understand it. And they want everything yesterday, and you might be a little more conservative, which is what you sound like. So, I would just sit down and just say, look, first of all, you're in a great position because it doesn't sound like she can just go out and pull the trigger herself. So I just say, listen, I definitely want to do that, but we need to pay down this house a little bit, or, if we can't afford it, let's buy it and then we'll rent the thing out all the weekends that we're not going to be there. I think there's definitely a smart way to do it, but I would just sit down and write out all the points that you want to make and then draw a smiley face. This is what I do when I'm being a smart person because I know how short a fuse I have. And I write all this shit out, everything that I want to say and all that stuff, and then I draw a smiley face reminding me to not lose my temper, reminding me that other people are entitled to have different opinions and, and not to be a cunt. I didn't do that a couple days ago and ended up having a big, stupid fight over the bathroom sink. I'd gone on the road and it started to clog up and I didn't have time to fucking fix it. But, we had Drano. So I figured, my wife would fucking handle it. And I come home to brush my teeth and I turn it on and within fucking 2 seconds, it's already filling up. There's a puddle. It's completely backed up. And, it's usual shit. Usual shit in a relationship. You say to somebody else, did you notice? No, I didn't notice. And in your head, you're like, how the fuck did you not notice this shit? But what I learned in that argument is I have to understand that there's shit that she's looking at me at about, like, how the fuck do you not notice it? And it's just because I'm just not wired like that. And that's why you get married. Hopefully you're a yin and a yang. I finally said it right. I didn't say yin and yang. I said yin. Y-I-N. I think that's the first time publicly I've ever said it right. They're going to be good at the shit that you're not good at. And I actually had a great day with Nia yesterday. Like, I didn't do shit for once, and we just hung out all day. And, we watched some movies and shit. We made a little bit of food. And I always forget that every once in a while, you got to hang out with each other rather than just being roommates. To remind yourselves, like, oh yeah, that's right. We actually really love each other. I forgot about that shit. And I don't, the amount of times I've had to fucking learn that, If you get married, you really start doing the math like, dude, fuck this shit. I don't need anything. I will literally give her everything. I will fucking just give you fucking everything. And I will walk out with the shirt on my fucking back and I will start all over again. Like, I think that's the way to fucking do it. And just walk down the street after it like Johnny fucking Appleseed. And, because I really think you just get into having all of this fucking stuff. But if you just let go of all of it, then you don't have it. I think getting divorced could be a really light feeling. This is how far I went over an argument over a clogged up sink before I came to my senses. I was walking down the street with a stick with a bandana and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in it. And I was just finally like, what am I doing? Stop being a fucking idiot. All right, let's get to some advertising here. All right, MeUndies, everybody. Oh, gee, I got to sing this quietly because we have company over here right now. Boo-doo, boop, boop. MeUndies. MeUndies. No more sweaty nuts. Boo-doo, doo, doo. MeUndies. MeUndies. Keep it dry with your butts. What? That doesn't make sense. I said nuts and I was thinking butts would rhyme. You know what? I got to retire this fucking song. I need some new bits on this goddamn thing. All right, MeUndies. All right, this year, don't be predictable and show up at your Valentine's Day dinner with some last-minute box of chocolate or bouquet of roses. Bouquet? I don't know how to say it. That are going to die in a week anyways. Give the gift everyone's talking about. MeUndies, taking care of your taint. Boo-doo-doo-doo. MeUndies. Your balls will say you're a saint. Show your special. Tell you that fucking guy up there, he's a fucking saint. He's keeping us dry over here. Show your special someone just how much you care with a present you'll both love. A gift that looks great and feels great. Something that says you deserve the best. I have to tell you right now, if you give somebody underwear for a gift, you better be fucking them or they better be your kid. Because other than that, it's fucking weird.
Give your kid underwear, there you go. Jesus Christ, straighten up and fly right, Have a little respect for yourself, and then if you're with the person intimately, you can give it to them. There's no fucking way. Actually, as a joke, you can do that, I was actually thinking the other day when I went to buy my wife a Valentine's Day card, I was looking for the blank ones because I hate the fucking Valentine's Day cards. They're either over the top gross or they're just fucking like too distant. It's very hard to find that one that's the nice balance of I love you, but let's not be gross. So I was looking for the blank ones, and I came to the sympathy cards, and I just was thinking, like, you know what? I really want to do stand up with Joe DeRosa again, and then send him a sympathy card afterwards. Telling him I hope he feels better and everything, and just basically write, Joe, I saw your set last night. I know you're going through a rough time. I don't know. It was funny to me. Anyways, let's get back to the MeUndies thing. Treat yourself and your boo to a matching pair of MeUndies, the world's most comfortable underwear. This underwear is comfy as it gets. MeUndies are made of modal fabric, meaning they're twice as soft as cotton. And they don't just feel great, they look great too. MeUndies comes in tons of cool prints and styles, and new designs come out every month. You won't want to miss February's limited edition designs from the legendary Keith Haring. This retro design is inspired by love, making it the perfect Valentine's Day gift. Well, it's over. Grab yourself a pair and celebrate the holiday sporting matching underwear with your sweetheart. How do you do it? You go to MeUndies.com/Burr now to get 20% off your first order. That's 20% off at MeUndies.com/Burr. All right, Stamps.com. Sometimes it feels like there aren't enough hours. Sometimes it feels like there's not enough hours in the day. You know what? You're just flustered, even when you're working past the 9 to 5. So, if you're still making time-consuming trips to the post office, you need a better way. Use Stamps.com. With Stamps.com, you can get the postage you need the instant you need it. Buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package right from your computer and printer. You'll save money with Stamps.com, too. It's just a fraction of the cost of one of those expensive postage meters. Plus, you'll get special postage discounts you can't even get at the post office. I use Stamps.com to send out all my posters. I'm a moron. If I can figure out how to do it, so can you. Right now, sign up for Stamps.com and use my last name, Burr, for this special offer, 4-week trial plus a $110 bonus offer that includes postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Burr, B-U-R-R. That's Stamps.com. Enter Burr. And as always, if you want to contribute to this podcast, next time you're going to buy something on Amazon.com, just go to my website, BillBurr.com, click on the podcast page, and there's a link to Amazon. All it does is take you to Amazon. It doesn't cost you any more money. I just get credit for driving traffic to the site. All right, Trash Man, everybody. Hey, Billy Bubbles. Billy Bubbles in the rain. I went to high school with a guy who picks up my trash. I get along with him, and I always wave, and sometimes if he's not rushing, I'll have a short conversation with him. Last week, I saw my neighbor yell at him. He wasn't a jerk back, but he wasn't a dick either. What? He wasn't a jerk back, but he wasn't a dick either? Later on that day, my neighbor came over and asked me if I'd make a statement about the issue that he harassed her. I saw the whole thing go down. He didn't harass her. She yelled at him for coming a day late during a week when a holiday pushed everything back a day in terms of sanitation pickup. What a cunt. She said that even without my statement, she's going to press charges and file a complaint. I'm going to call the town or police and let them know what's going on. I'm so livid that she would ruin this guy's life. He's a great dude. Thoughts on how I should handle this? Should I report her for lying? Abso-fucking-lutely. And I would take time off from work to testify that she's a lying whore. Abso-fucking-lutely. Who the fuck yells at a trash man? The service that they're providing, fuck her. Fuck her, dude. You know something? I would 100% do it, and I would even fucking tell her that you're going to do it at some point. Not in the beginning, because you don't want to weaken his case. But I would do it without a doubt. And when the whole fucking thing goes away, I would let her know that you did that, and I would let her know what a small person you think she is, and that she's disgusting, and to stay away from you and anybody else that you love because she's subhuman. There. How was that?
Dilemma. Dear Bill. Oh, what a fucking whore. You came a day late and then you harassed me. Gee, you know what I bet she does for a living? She sounds like a blogger. Always playing the fucking victim and always going down and just trying to get somebody in trouble and try and fuck over their ability, to earn a living. What a fucking twat. All right. Dear Bill, would you rather have to live in an air balloon for a month, never having set down, or would you rather live in a submarine, never breathing the surface for a whole month? Both scare the shit out of me for a whole month, but I think I choose the submarine. Seems more natural. Yeah, and there's also a bathroom. I wouldn't want to have to shit on people and pee. Well, I would obviously wait till I was over a rural area. Yeah, plus you'd be inside. You'd have a bed. When you're in the submarine, you have a blanket. You get to be down there with all the fellas. Hey. No, man. I mean, I think it would be cool to fucking look out the window and see all the fucking the sea life and all that shit. I would go fucking nuts down there, but I don't know. Fucking up there in an air balloon. Gets cold or hot. You're really dealing with the fucking elements when you're up there. It starts fucking raining. Yeah, I don't know. I would get over that really quickly. But I think being in a sub, you're down there. You could play cards. You could fucking break each other's balls or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I would think I would much rather do a sub. And if I had to die either way, I'd rather die in a sub. I'd rather have it just fucking, if you're going to die in a sub, that's going to be quick. It's just over, right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes maybe it might not be quick if they close that door. Yeah, those are two terrifying things. I got to go with you. Got to go with you on that. All right, dilemma. Billy boy. If you had to choose which holiday to get canceled and never celebrate again, would you choose Valentine's Day or President's Day? Who deserves more recognition? Your girl for doing what you do all year without a holiday? That's hilarious. Yeah, we don't get a holiday. Or maybe I read that wrong. Or presidents who may or may not be horrible people who hurt the country. I'd cancel President's Day because I'd rather keep the one that involved chocolate being around. That's a good reason for it. If I had to get rid of one, I don't think anybody really celebrates President's Day. I don't really consider it a day off. It's kind of like Flag Day. You know what I mean? Or Buttermilk Pancakes Day. Isn't there one of those fucking days too? Jesus, you want me to cancel a holiday? I wouldn't cancel Valentine's Day just because women like it so much. Believe it or not, I am a cunt, but I'm not that fucking bad. So I'd keep that one. Yeah, you know what? Fuck President's Day. All those guys are bought and sold anyways. You've seen it with Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. You've seen how the Democrats are just going to pick her because she's going to play ball. They're all tied into the fucking, I don't know what you want to call it. That Bernie Sanders is too fucking radical. He's going to switch shit up too much, and then they're not going to work with them. Even if Bernie Sanders gets fucking elected, they're not going to work with them. They're going to show their fucking true colors. They're all bought and paid for. They're all, how the fuck did the Clintons got $3 million to throw their kid a wedding? You know what I mean? Give me a fucking break. Because you went out and you gave speeches to all the people that fucking financed your campaign, and then you hooked them up and looked the other fucking way. I swear to God. Do you wonder how the fucking pharmaceutical companies and the people who fucked up the food supply are able to do it, and there's nothing behind it? It's because they fucking paid everybody off. I swear to God. All right, I'm on my. This is why I always vote for that third party guy. And everybody goes, "Oh, you're throwing away your fucking vote." How is throwing away my fucking vote voting for someone who's a decent fucking human being? I swear to God, people, they don't want to try to do what's right. They just want to win. They want to be like, oh, my guy won. Oh, I'm on my stump again. See that? Every time I sit there and I trash people for fucking giving their public opinion, then look at me. I do the exact same thing. I am what's known as a hypocrite.
A hippie. All right, that's the podcast for this week. I want to thank everybody that came out. Cheyenne, Wyoming. I know it was last second, but I had a great time. I had a great time in your state capital. It was just a really, really cool fucking town. And I had a great time in the Cadillac Ranch there. That sounds, I swear to God, like the fucking Bunny Ranch. It sounds like a fucking whorehouse, but it wasn't. It was cool talking to the people there. And thank you to everybody, that bought me a beer and a shot and all that shit. And thank you everybody in Denver, by the way, which was just a fucking insane show. That was another special one just because I've done so many fucking gigs in Colorado in the middle of nowhere. I always bring up Arapahoe Community College. I'll never forget that nooner where they had me standing in an area where 3 hallways met right before class ended. That was a fucking nightmare. Next to a popcorn machine and 5 people scattered out about 40 chairs, empty chairs. Anyways, that's the podcast for this week. I'm going to try to watch some Celtics and get caught up on the Bruins games and keep drinking my juice. All right, go fuck yourselves. I'll talk to you later on this week.